Pivot tables are extremely useful for summarizing large data sets. There will be times, however, when you want to limit the data that is displayed within a pivot table. You can limit the data that appears by using a filter. And in this movie, I will show you how to create one type of filter, which is a selection filter. I will use the Selection Sample Workbook, which you can find in the Chapter 3 folder of your exercise files archive. This pivot table contains quarterly sales data for 5 different departments: balance, dance, play, sport, and work. Let's say that I want to filter the data so that I only see values for the balance and sport departments. To do that, I'll click any cell in the body of the pivot table, and then in the pivot table fields pane, I'll hover the mouse pointer over the department field header, and then move the mouse pointer over that header's downward pointing black triangle, and click it. And then, in the shortcut menu that appears, I have a filter option here at the bottom that allows me to select items. So I can select all items, and then I also have checkboxes for each of the 5 values or departments within that field. If I want to remove all of the selections, then I can clear the Select All box by clicking it. Doing so removes all of the checks from the checkboxes. I can now check the box of any department I want displayed. So I'll check the balance box and the sport box. And if I scroll back up, you can see that the Select All button now has a black square inside of it. The black square indicates that some items are checked and some aren't. And the Select All box has 3 states. The first is checked, which indicates that all of the checkboxes are checked, so all values will be displayed. A black square indicates that some values are checked but some aren't, so not every value will be displayed. And if the Select All checkbox is cleared, that means that nothing is selected. But in this case, I have balance and sport selected, so I'll click OK. Doing so filters the data inside the pivot table, so I only see results for balance and sport. And you'll also notice that the grand totals changed to match the filter as well. You can also sort by values in more than one field. So if I want to sort by quarter, I'll just click the quarter field headers down arrow, clear Select All, and let's say that I only want to see results for quarter number 3. I'll check that box, click OK, and my pivot table is filtered so that it only displays quarter 3 results for the 2 departments I selected. To undo the filter, I can click the Undo button on the Quick Access toolbar, which reverses the last change that I made, or I can use the filter interface, so I'll click Department again, and I can click the Select All box. Doing so checks the value. All the values now have checks next to their names, so I'll click OK. Doing so removes the filter, and all of the values are now displayed within the body of the pivot table. Filtering by selection is an extremely powerful tool because it allows you to identify exactly the fields that you want. It's a technique that I'm sure you'll use quite a bit when you get down to specific analysis for your business.